Hey everyone, today I want to delve into a topic that's incredibly relevant and vital in our world right now: the concept of loving each other. It might seem straightforward or even simplistic at first glance, but there's a profound depth to this idea that's worth exploring. We live in a world where division, conflict, and misunderstanding seem to be at an all-time high. In such times, the message of love, especially as taught in the Bible, becomes not just relevant, but revolutionary. In the Bible, specifically in John 13:34-35, there's a powerful directive from Jesus. A new command I give you: love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. Let's unpack this, explore its implications, and understand how it can transform our lives and our world. Think about the weight of this statement. It's not a mere suggestion or a guideline, it's a commandment. And not just any commandment, but a new one, signifying its importance and distinctiveness. What does it mean to love as Jesus loved? This isn't about simple acts of kindness or basic cordiality. It's a radical, selfless, and all-encompassing kind of love. It's the kind of love that challenges our preconceptions and pushes us beyond our comfort zones. To grasp the full meaning of this commandment, let's consider the context in which Jesus said this. He was speaking to his disciples during the Last Supper, a time of intimate fellowship but also immense impending turmoil. He was about to be betrayed, and yet his focus was on instilling a legacy of love among his followers. This setting underscores the seriousness and urgency of his message. So how did Jesus love? His love was unconditional, sacrificial, and inclusive. He reached out to those marginalized by society, forgave those who wronged him, and ultimately gave his life for the sake of humanity. In Romans 5:8, this love is depicted vividly. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. His love wasn't dependent on people's actions, status, or reciprocation. It was a love that transcended barriers and expectations. In our daily lives, this kind of love might seem unattainable. How can we possibly love like Jesus? This question leads us to explore practical ways in which this commandment can be lived out. It's not about achieving perfection, but striving to embody the essence of Jesus' love in our interactions and decisions. Loving like Jesus is most challenging when confronted with difficult situations or people. It's easy to love those who are like us or who treat us well. But what about those who oppose us, who think differently, or even those who might despise us? This is where the radical nature of Jesus' commandment comes to the fore. It calls for a love that goes beyond natural inclinations and societal norms. Consider examples from history and contemporary times where individuals exemplified this kind of love. These stories can be both inspiring and instructive, showing us that while it's not easy, it's certainly possible to love in this radical way. Let's bring this concept into our everyday reality. How can we show love in our routines, in our interactions on social media, in our workplaces, and in our communities? It might look like offering a kind word to someone going through a tough time, lending a helping hand without expecting anything in return, or actively listening and showing empathy to someone whose views differ from ours. Each act of love, no matter how small, contributes to a larger culture of compassion and understanding. Encourage the audience to reflect on specific situations in their lives where they can apply this commandment. Pose reflective questions and provide a moment for personal introspection. Imagine the transformative impact if more people chose to love in this radical, selfless way. This isn't just about personal betterment, it's about societal transformation. When love, as Jesus taught, becomes the norm, not the exception, we can expect to see stronger communities, healed relationships, and a marked decrease in many of the social ills that plague our world. Discuss the broader implications of this kind of love on issues like conflict resolution, social justice, and community building. Share examples or case studies where love led to positive change in communities or even in global contexts. Thanks for tuning in and reflecting on this powerful message with me. Let's not let this be just another discussion. Let's make it a call to action. As we go about our lives, let's keep this commandment at the forefront of our minds and hearts. Let's challenge ourselves to love like we mean it, to love like Jesus did. It's a lofty goal, but but even small steps in this direction can make a significant difference. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Let's go out there and be lights in the world, showing love in our words, actions, and attitudes. The world needs more of that now more than ever.